Bayou Time Sports is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda and Barker Kia.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Bayou Time Sports. Saints were in action this past weekend as they took on the Jaguars in their second preseason game. A game that ended in a tie, and quite honestly, you know the old adage, a tie is like kissing your sister. For the Saints, it actually turned out to be a good thing because for most of that game, they were the team that had to do some catching up. They were down 17-3 at one point, but they did just that. Spencer Rattler came in the second game, and he did a pretty good job there. Kellen Moore also is a guy who is very optimistic about all three quarterbacks. We were able to hear Spencer Rattler talk about his performance there in the future of the Saints, along with Kellen Moore talking a little bit about where they're at deciding maybe who is going to be that quarterback. Here we go, Spencer Rattler and Kellen Moore.
Yeah, it was a fun one. Thought we could have finished a little better in the red zone. Throughout that second half, I feel like we shot ourselves in the foot. Should have had multiple scores, I thought, down there. But I thought we moved the ball well. Receivers stepped up, made big plays, starting with Tipton. Obviously, he flashed big time today. Pettis made some great plays. I thought the O-line played really well. We didn't take many sacks, if any, in the second half. A lot of guys made plays. Loved the play calls and played fast. So just got to finish more. First time live, getting settled in for a while. We got to all play cleaner. But coming into this week, we wanted to be a little more aggressive. I wanted to be a little more aggressive, play free, kind of play my style of ball within the offense, and just get it to the playmakers. If it's checking it down to Clyde, he did a great job. Bayless, all those guys did a great job on the easy throws, and then obviously the down the field stuff. Guys made big plays today, and those are momentum changers and get you in the right position to score. Yeah, they had the perfect defensive call for it. They zoned it out, passed it on. That's like a, go-to two-point play. They played it perfect, and, down there you got to extend and scramble, and, they kind of let me leak out and saw the edge and just hit it. I think it's good to finish, with whatever happens. Defense stepped up big time. A lot of 3-and-outs, a couple turnovers today. They stepped up big time for us. And then, we can help them out by finishing more in the red zone with those opportunities. Just little silly things, just false starts, miscommunication, just things we can clean up, but they're correctable. So we look at that as, okay, we can fix that and move on and be better from it. So I know we'll be ready to get back to work and get ready for this next game. Yeah, you want to find that balance of being aggressive but playing within the scheme. Thought we did a good job coming in, taking the easy throws, getting 6 yards a pop, getting first downs, moving the chains, and then, we got to look to throw one deep to tip, happen to be a PI. So that's another benefit of throwing it down the field. 50-50 balls, they're in your favor, and especially with a guy like Tip who can run by anybody, and love the aggression of the play calls today. Thought we were in a good rhythm. Left some out there, too. Could have been better on a lot of that, but, I thought the guys played well, and they love those big momentum plays. It gets our team going.
Good game, good battle. Obviously a unique circumstance of tying a football game, but our locker room was happy and excited, and our guys played really, really well down the stretch, made some big-time plays, big-time opportunities, really good lessons for our guys throughout this game, starting fast, getting better from that standpoint, and we'll just keep growing. Yeah, that was a big moment and opportunity for him to have that great drive going down the field. You throw an interception and have to respond, and he responded really, really well. Put the team in excellent position, did a great job with situational football in that 2-minute drive. His ability to play with his feet, came up in a number of situations. And I just thought our guys did a really good job in that 2 minutes just handling and understanding what the situation was. The one downfall to how this game played out was we just had less drives, and Jake didn't get a chance to go in there, which we certainly wanted him to get in there. But I thought it was important just from an evaluation standpoint on Spence. Just those are critical moments. You have a tough situation, you got to respond. We're just going to keep building through this process, and we think we got 3 really good ones here, and we'll continue to build. Yeah, all these QBs aren't making this easy because I think they're all doing a really good job, and they're all having their days, and they're taking advantage of opportunities, and so it's an evaluation, and we'll take it where it needs to go. We'll see how we're going to build this thing out this week, and we'll see where it is. We'll have 3 practices. We'll have the game against Denver on Saturday. So I think we're setting up ourselves for a really good work week this week to kind of build, and we'll see how that Saturday plays out. I think it's critical that when these guys go through those situations, it's a big-time moment of how do you respond. That's what we evaluate these guys all the time on. And so, it was a goofy situation. It was tricky. I would have loved for Jake to have been in there.
That was Kellen Moore, and before him, Spencer Rattler, as they talked about the game this past weekend, and they're preparing for the Broncos this upcoming weekend. Folks, I don't know if you've been keeping an eye on the Broncos, obviously with Sean Payton being there, but they're putting something together there, and in their last game, of course, it was preseason, they totally annihilated the Cardinals. That's a pretty good football team. They come into New Orleans this week. They play at noon on Saturday, but I am going to encourage you to maybe DVR it, whatever the case may be. Don't go to the game, tape it for later, and go see the Colonels at noon on Saturday, as the Colonels are playing in week 0 of college football. And of course, it's a preseason game for the Saints. I just can't get into the preseason games very much, but obviously it means a lot to that team because we still don't know who the starting quarterback is. We saw Shuck have a pretty good game. Then we see Spencer Rattler have a pretty good game. And we're not sure who's going to take control of that. Nonetheless, it's the Broncos this week, and we're going to find out more a week off after that, and then you have the Cardinals in the Dome to start the season. So we are at that point, folks. It's big-time football. Everybody's excited, obviously, in South Louisiana, and we certainly hope that Saints can get some things together as they head into the regular season. Got to take a time out. We'll be back with more Bayou Time Sports right after this.
This segment was brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda and Barker Kia.